Hello. So for today, I'm going to teach you a couple different things. For this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to do a problem that looks like this. I'm going to reiterate the same thing I always do to you guys. You need to make sure you're using pencil, paper, or dry erase board and marker when you are doing your math. From here on out, I will say for the rest of fourth grade and even further into your math career, doing math in your head is no longer it's probably possible, but it's definitely not the best way to do math because then you're not going to be thinking about all the different possibilities of answers. So, first thing I'm going to do, or notice that I did, was I copied down the problem, excuse me, onto a piece of paper. And that is what you should be doing as well when you see something on the computer. Then I know that I'm working with the number 18, so I'm factoring the number 18. So that's the number I put up here. And I know that I am putting these numbers into boxes. So you're going to have something similar to this on your explain slide today that I'm going to be asking you to explain or putting numbers into boxes and then explaining to me how you knew those numbers went into the boxes. So this lesson is a great lesson for you to be listening to today. All right, so when you do factor pairs, basically when you see numbers already in the box, it's your hint that these are factors. So 1, 2, and 3 are definitely factors of 18. So our job now is to figure out what are the other jobs or what are the other numbers that are going to fit with these factors. So 1 and what is gets 18. So 1 times what equals 18. So we know that 18 would go in this box because 1 times 18 is 18. All right? So that is all you have to do there is 1 and 18. Then you have to decide 2 times what would give us 18. Well, it's 2 times 9. So 2 times 9 is 18. All right, so that's where then you just move that 9 into that box. And then 3 times what gives us 18? We know that 3 times 6 gives us 18. So therefore that number moves into that box. So these are called factor pairs. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. Those are all factor pairs of 18. So that's how you would do that. So sometimes you're given extra numbers that may already be in the boxes, right? Or you might be given extra numbers that aren't even factors of that. So it's important for you to remember that, and that's how you do factor pairs in the boxes. Um, one thing to think about is that when you're factoring a number, another trick that you could do in order to figure out what these factors are using that lesson I taught yesterday. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing since I taught it yesterday. You can go back and watch the video if you didn't yesterday, but it was on using a multiplication table to find the facts, and that's where you would go to the one number, go over to the multiple or the number you're working with, and then you'd go up to see what it would be multiplied by. Same thing for 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Another strategy is the factor rainbow strategy, again, that I taught in the video yesterday. But you'd have your 1 and your 18 that you always start with. And then you have your, you know that 18 is an even number. And you would put a 2 because it's an even number. And you know your facts, you should know. 2 times 9 is 18. We know that 3 is a factor because I'm going to teach you a little trick here in a second about that. But we know that 3 is a factor because I can use my multiplication chart and go to the 3 and go over and find 18, but also I can skip count by 3. So if I skip count, that's one of the tricks that you can use is skip counting. So I could do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then 18. Boom, I know. And it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get to 18. So therefore 3 times 6 is 18. So that's another strategy, is using skip counting. It doesn't work great with like big numbers, but it definitely can be used with some of these smaller numbers that you're factoring. I know that 4 cannot be a factor. because if I were to take 4 skip count, 4, 8, 12, 16, and then I would go to 20, then I would skip over from 16 to 20, I would skip over 18. Therefore, 4 cannot be a factor of 18. And then 5 obviously is not a factor because it doesn't end in 0 or 5. And then we're back at 6, so we know that our factor rainbow is complete. So this is another way to kind of do this, or to practice with your factors, and so that you know what goes into the boxes. So I know that 1 and 18, so therefore that 18 got moved up. I know 2 and 9, so that's why that 9 got moved up. And I know 3 and 6, and that's why that 6 got moved up. So when you're looking at these on the explain slide, this is what I'm referring to here. You're just dragging and dropping the numbers into those boxes and then explaining to me what strategy you use. So did you use the multiplication chart? Did you use skip counting to help you? Or did you use factor rainbowing to help you out? Thank you for listening all the way through this video. Please watch the next video on some more little tricks that I've picked up on the way of factoring that has to do with number patterns. So I think it'll be really helpful for you guys. So tune into the other video as well. Thanks, guys. I look forward to seeing the explanations on your slide with pulling numbers into the boxes for factoring.